Hello, good evening, everyone. Once again, you're welcome to tonight's class. And for week one is about introduction to coding and robotics, and also to softwares, or the software we'll be using as we start. For me to confirm, please, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please, can you unmute yourself and speak? Or let me see your emoji. Okay, I can see Kerry is giving me an emoji. Okay. So I can see Mr. Nkere, also Mr. Jaffet, the device name, and also Mr. Reward. Okay. So for today's class, just like the presentation here says, coding and robotics, every child can code. So let's dive in to know more about this. So just like I was saying as at yesterday, that coding and robotics happens to be a product of STEM, and STEM is an acronym for 4 words, which are science, S for science, T for technology, E for engineering, M for mathematics. So I'll drop this PowerPoint presentation in the Google Classroom. So if I may ask what is science, we all know that science has to do with the systematic study of structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against the evidence obtained. So when we talk about technology, it's just about the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes. So engineering has to do with the practice of using natural science, mathematics, and engineering design process to solve technical problems, increase efficiency and productivity, and improve systems. So we'll talk about mathematics. Mathematics has to do with, it includes the topic of numbers, formulas, and related structures, shapes. So the learners will be able to appreciate what they've been learning about plane shapes and how to apply it and bring it to real life. So when they now see a shape, okay, if I want to cut to form these robots, how should what is it a regular or an irregular shape? Something like that. They will appreciate that fact. And also conditionals, what will now be using greater than, less than. That thing they learned in number line will now come to play very well. So that's just a brief intro. Why I don't want to spend the whole time defining, so that we'll go straight to what we have. Let me jump this slide. So what's STEM education? STEM education is the use of scientific, technology, engineering, and mathematical knowledge to solve problems. So we'll talk about STEM education is divided into branches. Just like I said, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So yesterday I made an introduction that coding is the process of writing set of instructions for the computer to do. So another word for coding is programming. That's for the advanced level, but for children in mostly primary and secondary institutions, we still call it coding. But for adults, we'll say that person is a programmer because the person can write using different programming languages. Just like coding can be likened to, say, um, expressing oneself in a different language. Take, for instance, if you look at if I may ask, how many major languages do we have in Nigeria? We have how many of them? Someone to respond. I want us to interact.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I think there are about 775 of them.
Okay. I say the major languages
The
we have.
languages.
We have
Okay,
about,
major,
yeah,
three,
okay.
three.
So the Yoruba, how you take for instance the English word come. The Yoruba people, how do they say come? If the Yoruba people want to say come,
Wah, wah,
okay, wa. So
wah.
the thank you very much. So the Hausa will say zo, and the Igbos will say bia. So these days, we now hear new words like wazobia. Now hear wazobia FM, wazobia this, wazobia that. So it is just the same way of saying what? Come. But this time around, different languages. So it's the same thing that happens to the computer. So you command, you give different languages, still expressing the same thing. Now, someone can write using C++, another person can write using Python, another person can write using JavaScript, another person can write using just plain Java, another person can write using JavaScript frameworks. So, but for these learners, I will teach you sequentially the languages for what, for their level of understanding. Okay. So what are the benefits of coding and robotics? Now, benefit of coding and robotics to learners, it gives you or it provides the ability to think differently. It makes you capable of working as a team. You'd see that when it comes to coding and robotics, they work as a team to achieve projects. Also, it improves the storytelling skills of the learners. They start having some ideas to share. They start having some things to discuss. And also, it makes mathematics fun. You see it practically when we go through practical classes. Also, it offers more career opportunities. Just like now, we are into coding and robotics instructors program. So you now see that there's another subject, a brand new subject that is different from every other one. So programmers are consistently in high demand because even as I do coding and robotics teaching, I'm also into website design. I also do digital marketing. So you now know how to play around it because it's for you to be innovative enough. Because if you meet the schools, they don't understand what they're saying. No. You'll be the one that will draft it in a way that, oh, for junior secondary, at the end of JSS3, they should be able to design a website. So you that is a website designer, you now be able to break it in bits and teach them, although there's scheme or there are schemes for it. So also for the children, you have game development, how they can make games and all those things. So this programming or this coding cuts across so many areas. So it's not until you are in the classroom. You can be in the classroom, even while we're on holiday now, you are earning from another source. So that's how it is. So it offers more career opportunities for you as a programmer. Please, someone is using the whiteboard. Okay. So coding and robotics is divided into two, namely the software and the hardware. So the software is the application we use to write codes in the computer, while the hardware are desktop, laptops, also robots we use in coding, or we use for coding rather. So how programming work? There should be an event that tells the program when to start. The program will begin and follow some list of instructions provided in the program and the end. So when the instructions are over, the computer does something to let you know that it has completed it. So example of how a program works, it will take for instance, there's a teacher there. You now say, Adam, come to the front, clap 10 times, then jump. So when you're done, go back to your seat. So when we talk about coding or programming, that's how it works. You tell it what to do as it's about to start. You tell the action that will happen when it's about to start, then the continuous action that will take place, then towards the end, what will happen at the end of the day. So that's the way coding works. So for you to be able to program a robot, it means that you tell it, okay, whenever the switch button is on, when they on it, when you receive power, you be the one to tell you when you receive power, okay, this is, sorry about my background noise. So you now see that you be the one to program it to say, when you receive power, after you receive power, you stay for 2 seconds, you move forward. If you see an obstacle, you wait, you turn right, you turn left, or you drive backward. Then after the obstacle passes, you continue your movement or your journey. So it has to do with you being able to control a device. Also, if it is for websites, it's the same thing. When a user comes, type in the name. When you finish, you click sign up. If the password the person is putting down does not tally with what the person registered, how will it behave? So the event starting, the program itself, and the end. So everything, because you will not always be there when these things will be working. So for our class, just like I said, it's divided into 2 sections, the software and the hardware. For robots to work, you must program it using softwares. So take for instance, primary learners, pupils in the primary school. The basic software we use for them is what we call Scratch. I don't know, have any of you used Scratch before? Have you used Scratch before?
No, as for me, no. I'm rewarding with by name. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I know. I'm seeing it on your device. Thank you very much. Okay. So the software we'll be starting with is Scratch. Sorry, I forgot to define it, but if you have a note, you can write. Scratch is a free block-based software. Scratch is a free block-based software that is used to create stories, games, and animations. It's mostly used for beginners from the age of 5 to 10. They will enjoy using it. The reason being that it's more of pictures and blocks, just like you're seeing here. So I just had to try to label it, but we'll still go to the software itself. And for the first part, we have change costume. If you look at the interface of Scratch, this is the software. We have these circles with different colors. We call them code block categories. And also costume, where you can design your own cartoon the way you want it. And also, if you want to input sound, and this is the coding area where you drag your blocks. You drag your blocks and place them here. And here is sprite. This happens to be cartoon characters, not the sprite to Dringo. So if you want it to hide, you come here. If you want it to show, yeah, this is the stage where your background would always be. And whatever sprite you choose will appear here. So if you want to start the program, you use the green flag to start it. And if you want to stop it, you use this red ball. So if you want to have a full screen of the project at the end of the program, if you finish, you use this to get a full screen. So this is where you choose your sprites. And this is where you choose the backdrop. And here you change the size. Maybe I'll drop this later for us to go through it. So let's go to the software proper. Okay, just hold on. Let me share the software. So how many of us were able to download the software? How many of you have done that? Yes. How many of us have the software installed on our device?
I haven't installed it yet.
Okay.
But I'll do that.
Okay. So, what of Japheth? Have you installed?
I'm on it. Downloading it this evening.
Okay. Mr. Reward, have you done that? Have you installed? Have you installed it in your device? Okay. So let's continue.
Yeah, sorry. It was part of the, you sent the links, right? On the
Yes.
Google Classroom.
Yes, I did. So the link is there. You see www.
Yeah, I was asking.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
thank
there.
you.
You see scratch.mit.edu. You see a link. So just click on it. Yes. Mr. Reward, you raise your hand. Yes.
Yes, I think I really needed some clarification. Like this Scratch, the one for the desktop, okay,
Yeah.
the software. Um, apart from maybe a system or something, can it be installed using a phone device or something? Is it possible?
There's a mobile version I have, but
Okay.
there's a mobile version I have. I'll see if I can share the APK file. Just chat me up to remind me.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will do that.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, for those of us that I just remembered something that would like to install it on our device. Let me do something. Let me share my entire screen. So let me do something for us, so that if you want to install it from your system, because I just remembered. So what you need to do is you come to and shouldn't have. Okay, let's just give it some time. Okay, so anytime you open your browser like this, you see this if your account, that's your Gmail, is the same Gmail on your desktop Google, that's on your laptop Google or your system Google. All you need to do, okay, let me be more practical. You click on this plus to open a new tab. Once you open, you see something like this. You click here, you scroll, you see Google Classroom. You see this classroom, you click on it. So it will take you here. I have so many classrooms. Okay, so you click here, still loading. So I'll click on this one. This is your classroom. So you now scroll. You scroll, you'll see, look at the link here. So if you should click on this link, if you click on this link, it will take you straight. It will be downloading the folder for you. So maybe what I'll do is to share a video on how to download it. I forgot. Okay, so I'll do that. I'll do that later. So share a video with you on how to install it. Okay, so that's all about that. So for this
Sorry,
one,
do we need to add it to parts?
cards,
Like,
no, you're
we don't
not
need to add it
paying.
to parts.
No, you're not paying anything now.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, do we need to, after we've downloaded, do we need to add the file parts like systems, what's it called now? Like
You
if you're
just
installing a C program,
no.
if you're
You
installing
just
C, add the
you just go to download. You just go to download. You see the file that you've downloaded. So you double click on it. When you double click on it, it would open. Don't worry, I'll just send it. I'll send the demo video to do that.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So for the interface, for this first code block category, this one is for motion. It has to do with movement. If you want the sprite to take a particular movement, so I should click on this. You see that it will move. Okay. So if you want it to turn, just as the name implies, this one is more pictures. They are not really using programming languages because the pupils at primary level may not really understand the concept, but this one give them a basic concept so that as they now grow and enter secondary, we now use programming languages with them. So they will now relate it to the concepts they learned at primary level. They will be able to flow. So that's the beauty of this software. Okay, so if you can take your time, you can explore all these blocks under the motion block. You just see it by color. So all the motion blocks are blue in color. So you go to the next one, looks. If you want it to say something, hello, for 2 seconds to disappear, you can increase the time. You can make it to say, let's say 5 seconds. It will stay longer. So it will stay longer. It depends on how long. So this one will just say hello, disappear. Sorry, this one will stay steady, while the first one is limited by time. So the first one can disappear after 5 seconds, but for this one, it will remain like that, hello, until you be the one to stop it. Okay, so if you want it to think for 2 seconds, this one will be there until you be the one to stop it. So you can take your time to explore. So while we'll be doing project, In our next class, we'll spend longer time for our next class, because for that our next class, it will have 2 sections. If you observe, instead of this normal 40 minutes, we'll spend first section 40 minutes. There will be an interval of 10 minutes. We'll come back again, 40 minutes again. So we'll do, because it will be a practical section where we'll be doing projects. You'll be dragging your blocks. You learn how to add sprite. You learn how to add backdrop and all those things. So today is just an introduction of the software interface. So the next one is sound. So if you want so many sounds, you can go here. Come here. You come to this circle down here. And you see different sounds. So also events. This is where we'll be starting from the next class. Events. So for it to start, just like the PowerPoint presentation I made, event, how will it start? You be the one to tell it how it will start. So you be the one to decide everything on how it will look like. How will it start on event? Because an event, there must always be an event. Else, there's no need for any evocation. So a program is being seen as an event, something that's just happening. After that time, it will end. So for this event, if you want to control this, take for instance, you say, whenever this green flag is clicked, say hello for 5 seconds. If I should come here and press anything, it will not work until whenever I click on this green flag. That's how you're telling it to start. So if I should say, oh, I don't want this condition, I want, oh, sorry. Tomorrow I'll explain better. So for you to move these code blocks, all you need to do is that once you take your arrow, that's your mouse, to the code block, it will change to 5 fingers. So once you see that it has changed to 5 fingers, you left click and you drag to the code area. Now I've changed the command. If I should come here and click on it, on the green flag, it will not display anything because I've changed it to say when space key is pressed. So until if I come to space key, it will say hello. So however you want a program to start, this is where you do it. Tomorrow I explain more about this. So the next one is control. It must be under control. If not, your program may be interesting, but it may now cause more harm than good. Also, sensing. It can sense, like to get feedback, ask what's your name. It will sense, oh, someone has typed the name. Now respond by what you even type. So that kind of artificial intelligence that makes someone making the cartoon look like it's intelligent is what we'll find under sensing block. So the next one, operators. Just like I said, in coding 2, we have mathematics. See what I was saying? You have the plus. You can add 2 things, 2 words together, like maybe say, hello, Amadi. You have Amadi somewhere. Maybe you don't want to go back to that place and type. So you can just say, hello, block Amadi plus this variable plus this, give me this, and you are off. Instead of you starting from the very beginning. So also for subtraction, if for instance, if you want to organize a mathematics game, this will be very interesting. Also greater than, less than, the and logical operators too. So we have so many things here, even the modulo and ABS. So we have so many things here. Also variables, you can create your own block. you can create your own. So take for instance that you want to create a game and you want scores to be there. So for you to have that score, how will I do it? If I should say, let me make a variable, don't want to explore each of these blocks as we do project. Is when you do projects, that's when you now see that score has appeared there. So that's how it works. So if I don't want it to show there, I'll just come and uncheck this box. Everything will disappear. So we have my blocks. You can make your own block. Most times it is used to create functions. So when it's time to, I'll explain it. Coding is a field of study that is you learn every day. You keep yourself up to date. Like remember when I learned only events, sound, and motion. I went on my own to start exploring the remaining blocks. So at your leisure time, what I will encourage is study, ask questions. You can make ChatGPT, you can make Google, you can make YouTube your friend. You see people who have done projects and you also interact or ask, and you can have ideas from there too while you come for class. So any questions so far? Okay, let me explain this. So this is where you choose your sprites. So this is where you choose your sprites. If you want for all, if you want for people, you see characters that are for human beings. If you want for animals, you see them. One fantasy, that's okay. Dance, characters that can dance. Music, you have musical instruments. Sports, you have food, you have fashion. So you have even for letters. So it cuts across so many areas. So you can explore. Like my learners, even from primary one, you can engage them using coding, using their own level of understanding for practical learning. Okay. So another thing here, let me remove this one. This is where you choose backdrop. Okay, I didn't choose the sprite. Let me just choose this first. So if I don't want this cat, all I'll do is to click on this one. You see this waste bin icon, click on it to disappear. So if I want to choose a backdrop, that's the background, it's white and plain. So I'll use the second circle down here. I may choose anyone. So you can even control the way it looks like. You can reduce the size by coming here. Send 40. Okay. So we can do so many things with it. So this software is just basically to engage primary learners. Even some schools too prefer I do it too, even for secondary, maybe JSS1, people who didn't have previous knowledge at all. So it depends on the level of learners. If the learners you have are people who have done coding previously. So that's just about that. So any question? So for any question?
I think from my own end, there is no.
Okay. So please, okay.
From mine, there's none too.
Which
Okay.
the mobile
So,
of that.
okay. Please, for tomorrow's class, I would like you charge your laptop or you charge, if it's a desktop you have, is powered.
Sorry,
So that,
class be tomorrow.
not tomorrow, the next class, that should be either Thursday or Friday, but it's likely to be on Thursday. It's likely to be on Thursday, our next class. Because we have another class. So an online class. So we are still checking the schedule. So the schedule, if it would be better to be Thursday or Friday, so that it will not clash with the other class. So we are just trying to be considerate, because most persons choose them to attend class by 7 p.m. So already we have a class that will be running before then. So that's just what we are looking at. So there will be no clash. So but possibly for this week, it will be on Thursday. By next week, we would have a better we'll have a better option. Okay. So please sorry, I'm still saying tomorrow. Please on Thursday, charge your device. It's better when they are dragging and dropping, you drag your own and drop, so that you be sure. You now know, oh, I can't move my blocks. Why? So at least I'll render assistance and tell you this is how you do it. Oh yeah, like this, like this, like this. So that we'll be on the same page. So that in case I give you, I'll give you tasks to do over the weekend for the next week. So that before then you must have mastered one or two. Because this I prefer it to be hands-on. So from the next class now, it will be more of practicals than less talk. Okay. So Mr. Ankere, any question or any other concern from your end?
No, I'm okay. I'm good. No questions.
Okay. I like today's class. Network is favorable with us. Okay. So in the absence of any other question, I'd like to end the class here. Please, I'll suggest that you watch this video at your spare time. Open the Scratch software, install it, try doing what you've seen today, touch the blocks and see how they interact, so that by Thursday, when I'm dragging, you just follow up because you've opened it before.
Okay, please don't forget to drop the video for us to download, adding the steps.
Okay, I'll do that.
Suggestion. Yeah.
Okay. So in the absence of any question, thanks so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I've seen your message. Thank you so much. So I'd like to end here for today and say a good night. Do have a pleasant rest till Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you too. Good night.
Okay. Thank you, ma.
Good
Good
night.
night, ma.
Good night.